All right, hello everyone. So today's Thursday. Let's take a look at the market. I've already posted the hours and made some comments. Now, start with gold. Now remember, yesterday with gold, this was the early hours in the morning, and by the time I was doing it, the market pushed up. So by the time you got the video, the market was already kind of like going above here. And I said this could break out into here. And I said this could mark the low of the day, with the exception that we might dip down due to sudden movements because of the astrological factors. As you can see, the market maintained that low. And the only thing that did happen was here, yesterday at 11 o'clock, where the market did a sudden move, which I said it pretty much could do so. Okay, and this is the 11:30 right there. Okay, and that's that. And then the market kind of like pushed up, came back down. This is 4:15. We didn't have anything at 4:15. Okay, and then this kind of moved up. They sold off and they bought. Okay, so Astro hours wise, it was pretty okay. And if you recall, I did say we can have some, the market can push into there, 11:30. All right, and that's your 11:30 there. Okay, so if you marked your hours on your chart as well, you should have been just fine. This is the 11:30 to 12 o'clock. That's your 12 o'clock, and then the market pushes up. Abrupt change here, I mentioned. Okay, market pushes down 240 from here into there, and then that should carry us to 535, and 535 is there. Okay, so abrupt change here. That's your 535. Astro was at 645 to 730, and this is your 730. All right, and I said we should have a retracement or a push from which we should land at 730. If market turns at 730 or moves from there, which it should, the target is 1045. Okay, so I did say it should move from 730 onwards, turning into that. Okay, now remember yesterday we said swing day Wednesday, right? But remember, for gold I got Wednesday and a possible Thursday or Friday. Okay, so it's a little tricky, but this held, as you can see, this low held despite the fact that this disruptive move until 11:30, which is right there, the market began to take off. Okay, and then moving into that 115 220 zone here. Now, what to do? I've already again posted the Astro hours. Let's see what we've got. Now on the daily, this zone is a resistance zone, as you can see. So we're either going to sell off here again in this. So either Thursday, Friday is going to be a swing day and we're going to sell down, which is possible. All right, or the reason that's possible also is if I do this into gold, okay, because we've got a special aspect that happened here. All right, so this could also maintain a high. Okay, this could maintain a high, and this could maintain the low here. So this is a bit of a sandwich zone. All right, in any case though, we're going to see how things pan out. Now the values here are, if I go back onto the 15-minute chart, is 2321, 2327. Now the market today, the price is not going to be very attractive until 230. A good spot is therefore 230. So after 230 we might have the market making a reversal, a move, but and if it does, that move can cause a bit of a sudden move into 545. So this is the zone here. All right, that's the zone there. Now this 7:56, 8 o'clock actually, this 8 o'clock is going to take us to 1250. to 1 o'clock, which is there. I've marked 1 o'clock here. If we stick around here, this might break out. Okay, if we stick around here, this might break out. So yeah, that's basically it. And then it'll take us to 230, and 230 is where you got to be careful. Okay, because until 230, the value isn't really attractive. So what I'm expecting is this: we're either going to stick around here, come back down, and at 230 we're going to turn around, which is going to take us to 5:45 to 7 o'clock. 5:45 to 7 o'clock is important, because if we stick around at the top and the market sells off, it should take us all the way into 9:15 to closing. If we end up here somewhere on the low, that could go up. If the market breaks out, pulls back into here, this will be a good opportunity to go up. Okay, and that up move can take us into 7 o'clock, and from 7 onwards we could continue until 9:15. Okay, so mark my words well. Okay, so it's not really complicated, as you can see. If we're down here, we'd like to go long and buy, and when we get into 7 o'clock, we've got to be careful. Okay, at 7 o'clock you have to wait for a bit of a market reaction. Okay, because this 7 o'clock is a logical place to get into a trade. Okay, so it could also cause a breakout from 7 to 7:30. It's not a bad place to get in. Okay, and if it does, it'll take us to closing. So two things can happen: either they can sell off from there, so if they break out, pull back, we can go long into there and just follow through. If this thing doesn't break out and push down into here, which is also fine, because this 8 o'clock is also looking like an intraday resistance, so which is also the previous day's high zone here. But this 8 o'clock, we'll have to wait and see how things pan out with this one. All right. Now, this low of the day could hold as well. Okay. So this zone, this is 6 o'clock. All right. So 6 o'clock low, this low can also hold as well. Let me see, 05, 06, somewhere around here. Okay, this is also okay. So if the market does pull back here into an Astro hour, is also okay to get back into the game, I think, in an upwards motion. And like I said, if we start to break above 2,321.27, it should push higher because of this. Once we break above this, then you got 60 at the top, which is 2,359, 2,368, okay, which is close to that 2,374 we marked in. So now I've got 59 to 2,368 and 59 here. So that's that zone. So we still have a bit of room the market can push into. Now remember, the market is consolidating, so one way or another we're going to break out. So it's either going to break down or break out. So the best places to trade obviously will be levels where, if you want to buy the low, so you can do a tight stop loss, okay, and then move from there. So that's how things are. If you want to sell it off, it's also logical. Why? Because Wednesday was a swing day. If that's the high, okay, if that's a kind of a high, also Thursday, Friday are swing days. So if we, have a high, we can also sell off, like in this zone at Astro hours as well. That's also fine, okay. So we can do both. Just do it at the lows and the highs, and don't trade in the middle of nowhere. Like I always say, don't trade in the middle of nowhere. If the market already made a high, we go back there at Astro hours. Selling is okay because they sold before. All right. And also, if we're low at an Astro hour, and if I said this will probably hold, then that's your buy. You know what I mean? So don't muck around in the middle of nowhere, right in the middle. But mark the highs, mark the low, mark the high, and then you're kind of like in between, mucking around there on the highs and the lows of the day. So oops, whatever. Okay, so now then, so this is the same kind of thing here. All right, if we decide to go up, we've got room to go, but this is a resistance zone, so selling in this zone is okay, buying the lows are okay. If we break below this, then a pullback will lead you to sell off as well. Okay, so just basic standard technical analysis because of the swing days. If you think gold is a little complicated because we've got Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, then leave it alone. Let's take a look at euro dollar. Now with the euro dollar, remember we're pushing down, so selling is the motion. So if you've been selling since Monday, you should be okay, because remember Monday, Tuesday was swing days, Monday, Tuesday, swing days. Okay, so if you sold off euro dollar Monday, Tuesday, that should keep pushing down. And now today's target is 46, so we've got 1.0709. Now what we're going to do is adjust this to 1.0709. Alright, so that's going to be a target as well. Now same with this as well. Yesterday, as you can see, the market's just moving in tight ranges, but once you got the low, you know, trading on the lows and trading on the highs. See how Sydney, Tokyo, they've made these highs, and then the market took out the stops in New York, nice sweep, and then gets back in, and that's your 7.15, 7.30 there. Obviously this was not a good place to trade. Okay, that was not a good place. So in New York yesterday, that 6.45 to 7 was okay, but 7.30 was like in the middle of nowhere. All right, so yeah, not really a good opportunity with the euro dollar yesterday, because these were the hours. Okay, so not very good in the middle of nowhere, but this was okay. So that's your 11.30 moving upwards and going into New York, coming down, and then from here as well. Not really very good. Okay, so if you're in the middle of nowhere, no real reason to trade. Let's take a look at what we've got. So with the euro dollar again, I suspect we've got news coming out today. Okay, so news. Now this has, as you can see, closed the gap. Okay, but we still have room to come down. On the euro dollar, we're off the resistance level here, which is fine. Okay, so selling again here is okay. If I get this PST done, we'll be able to have these updated every day, and then we'll have a definite sell level for every day as well. Okay, if I manage to get this done. In the meantime though, I still say selling is the better option if the news comes out. So you can wait for the news and then trade after the news, because remember we've got 5:50, 5:45, 5:50 and 7 o'clock, which are good hours to trade, so you don't have to be in the jazz, all right, during news time. This is for everything. So I still say we should be pushing downwards on the euro dollar. Now with SB 500, remember I said this zone for us is looking like a sell zone, and this is Wednesday. So SB 500, if you, as you know, swing day was a Tuesday, and Dow Jones we had Wednesday, and also Nasdaq Monday, Tuesday as well. So Monday, Tuesday we're in this zone. Dow Jones Wednesday we're still in this zone. So market obviously waiting for the news. Selling is like a better option since we're up here, so the market can sell off. Now the resistance, we've got this level here, which is good to see. As you can see, the market has a new setup. It's a news day as well, so we've got a new setup. It's a news day. 63.54, 5,198, which is still there. This is like a good spot. If the market touches that at like those hours that I mentioned, you know, you can still kind of like get in the game. And this is yesterday. All right, so what's that, 11:30? No, that's 4 o'clock. So this is yesterday, and yesterday we did have, what did we have? Yeah, 535, which is, that's your 535 to 10 past 6, and this is your 10 past 6 here. 535, 45, 10 past 6 right there. Okay, so the market moves into there and just kind of setting off into 730, I guess, and so on. Let's see, this is 730 right there. Okay, and then sideways. Let's refresh this. All right, so this is a good zone. If we go up, sweep the high of yesterday, come back in at Astro hours, I think selling is okay. Selling is okay if this Tuesday holds, because Tuesday was a swing day at the Astro hour, remember? So if this keeps holding, this is actually good to kind of sell off. Okay, like I said, you can wait for the news as well, but that's what it's looking like. So a sudden move up and then going down. Your first target, LCL1, 5,162. 5,162 is going to be there. All right, so the previous day low is going to be a target, and from there on, if it breaks below, we should sizzle down. Okay, and that's how it is. On the weekly, good impulse, retracement on the PST, same kind of thing here, which brought us into this zone. So this is like an impulse wave, an ABC up, selling looking like the better option. Okay, like I said, wait till after the news, you don't have to rush it in. That 550 is going to be after the news, so you don't really have to rush it. Let's take a look, because I recall 3:30 was news time. Yeah, 3:30 is when the news is coming out today. Okay, initial jobless claims. And then we've got, yeah, and then we've got a bit of a choppy kind of thing, which could take us to 550, and there you need to be careful. Okay, 7 o'clock also a good time to trade, so you don't need to rush this in, don't need to rush it at all. Now Dow Jones, same kind of thing here. Remember, Wednesday was a swing day for Dow Jones. Nice up move on a Wednesday, still staying loyal to that box. Okay, so $345 there. So 535 is what we had here. Yeah, it's not the best places to trade this one, 535, simply because like a bit in the middle of nowhere. Okay, that was the high of the previous day. That was the high of London. New York opens breakout. Okay, so a bit tricky. And I did say 535 to 10 past 6. We still might get another sudden move of retracement or a push, from which we should land at a level at 730, and that's your 730 right there. Okay, so that sudden push is happening there. If market turns at 730 or moves from there, which it should, the target is 1045 to 1055. That's your 1045 there. All right, so breakout, pull back, continuing into there. So what about today? What's going to happen with that? Now, if this Wednesday swing day holds, then selling these highs is not a bad idea again, okay, because it's a sell zone. And that's about it. Again, an ABC. Wait for the news. You can also wait for the news and trade this off, or if we get a red day tomorrow, you can sell off again. Okay, so that's another option there. What is Friday? Dow Jones, yeah, Friday is another one. So if we have a Wednesday high, Thursday, Friday, we might have a down. Okay, and that's a scenario we can use. Same thing with Nasdaq. This is a nice fast move up into a sell zone on the Dow Jones. So on the Nasdaq as well. Now with Nasdaq, remember we had a breakout, so I said we might wait for a new setup, and that's your new setup. Okay, so this is good, and once again you can see the market like bouncing off. Let me get rid of this. Okay, pretty much bouncing off our lines. This is also kind of good. That's your line. That's your line. Market selling off. All right. Yeah, and this is from yesterday, so this is a good spot. This is also a sell zone. All right, so with the news, selling is not a bad idea. Just be careful for sudden moves. After the news, you could also sell off. So yeah, the market is not really attractive, like I said, until 2:30. All right, it's just not sexy until 2:30. So we might kind of like pull back down. Now, if the market is down at the news, then this could have a further push up. So just be careful whether we're high or low. All right, so just be mindful there. On the daily, you can see that 62 is 18,161. So if you're trading Nasdaq, 18,161 is going to be a target where the market can go up and then sell off from here after sweeping the highs. So selling in this zone is not a bad idea. Kind of like matches the price zone we've got as well. Okay, impulse wave ABC up into the supply zone. So selling might be a better option here. It looks logical. Nasdaq. That was Nasdaq. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, remember, selling is the better option. Like I'm saying, we should dip down into here, but I said you could also wait for the swing days on this one and not rush it. So it's Thursday and Sunday. That's your Thursday. Okay, so this Thursday, if it's a swing day, could take us into Sunday. All right, so that's not a bad setup as well. Let's take a look. Here we are. This is a bit of a sandwich zone, and I did warn you this is a bit of a sandwich zone. You might want to wait. And this 60.41, I said, remember, make a note. That's 61,300. Okay, 61,300 is down here. Okay, why? Because it's a weekly support. Okay, and that's a sandwich zone, so this is why I didn't like this setup very much. I said you could wait for a better setup if you like, or wait for Thursday. Now this being Thursday, all right, this being Thursday, market going up, selling there, retracing, so it might retest this, maybe go a day or two up into Sunday and then sell off again. Okay, that might happen. For me, it's a bit of a dodgy place. I don't trade Bitcoin, but if I was to trade anything, the middle range is a bit tricky. Okay, now working off the weekly PST level, I don't mind doing. I don't mind doing that. So that being said, this is not a bad spot to go long. Okay, at Astro hours, this should at least cover your trade. And Thursday being a swing day off the weekly PST, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. And here we've got the market sweeping the previous day's low and then coming back up. So at Astro hours, pushing up from here as well can give you, a nice neat trade intraday at least. Okay, and that's 8 o'clock, is it? Round here, and that was 8 o'clock is on this bar here. All right, so this could kind of like give us a push up too. Now I'm going to get rid of that. This was from the other day. Okay, and that could take us, like I said, the highs of yesterday, session highs of yesterday, or let's take a look at the 4 hour. I don't usually trade off the 4 hour, but you can see, every time frame works for us. If you know the swing days, right? Just think about it. If you know the swing days, you got precision targeting, which you could move off from. Okay, so that's yesterday closing, and we're in now. So the market at the swing day pushing up is logical, and your first resistance is there, the second one is there. You got 41.45 targets, which is 61.874, 62.212. You can take those for targets. If it breaks out, you got 50 zone there, which is 62.839, 895 as a target zone there. Even 63145 is all in this jazz zone here. So that's also an option you can follow as well. If you're trading the 4-hour chart with the PST, you can pretty much do whatever. Okay. All right, hope that helps.